Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I'm a horn player in the Boston Symphony. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got my start playing the horn, this instrument itself that I'm holding, and one of my favorite moments from the orchestra. I grew up in a pretty musical family. My grandfather was a well-known horn teacher and player, and my dad was an oboe player in the studios, which meant he recorded TV soundtracks and movie soundtracks. My twin brother and I both were playing the piano as kind of a way to learn the basics of notes and rhythms, and neither one of us actually liked it very much. And my mom asked one day, said, "Your grandfather called and wants to know if you or your brother want to start playing the horn." I said, "Does that mean I can quit the piano?" Because I really didn't like it. And she said, "Well, yeah, I guess so." I said, "Great, I'll play the horn," which is actually kind of a terrible story, but there it is. My first instrument was a single F horn made by a guy named Carl Geyer. It was made for my uncle's fourth birthday, actually, and it was in the family. So I started playing on that horn, and this is a horn also made by Carl Geyer. It was made in 1964 for my grandfather. My grandfather played it for a long time, my uncle played it for a long time, and now I have it. So the family history is cool, and also I have the original receipt for the horn, which is that thing hanging on the wall right there. This horn I've gotten to play for a really long time. We have four of them in the family, actually, and Geyer himself said this was one of his Stradivarius instruments, as he put it. So it's a really, really cool thing for me to be able to still have it and play it. As you can see, we have a lot of horns. My wife is a horn player also, so it's not entirely my fault to have that many, but actually it's mostly my fault. Having a lot of horns for horn players can be like a contractor having a couple of different hammers. Sure, you can get the job done with one, but different tools do the job a little bit differently. I end up playing a different horn a lot of the time at work just because this one's old enough. I don't want to wear it out prematurely. But for a lot of really great stuff like Brahms, this horn is a real gem, and I'm really thrilled to play it. One of my favorite moments in the orchestra. So before I joined the orchestra as a member of the Boston Symphony, I freelanced around town, and I actually played extra with the BSO a bunch. And when I was a student, I was studying with Gus Sebring, our associate principal horn at the time, and I got a call in the fall of 2007 to play assistant principal horn to him on Mahler 9. Assistant principal horn means basically you're sitting there covering some stuff for the principal horn so that they don't have to work quite as hard, so they can be fresh and be able to execute all solos exactly the way they'd like without being worn out from all the rest of it, because the first horn parts are always really hard. It's the first time I'd done anything like that, a Mahler symphony with a BSO, anything like that, let alone playing extra to my teacher and my mentor. So Gus is a beast of a horn player. So I basically just sat there, counted rest, played a couple of notes, and it was just a master class in how to play everything perfectly. It was my first experience like that, and one that I'll always remember is just being kind of bowled over by the sound of the orchestra, the strings, the horn section, the trumpets behind me. It was just about the best seat in the house that anyone could have ever had, and as a student, the best learning experience. I've had the great pleasure of playing assistant to Jamie Somerville, our principal horn, and also now playing third horn multiple times, including with Andres the first time we ever saw him in the orchestra. So Mahler 9 as a result is one of my favorite pieces. My other favorite piece, if I could pick a second one, would be Alpine Symphony. When I was a Tanglewood Fellow in 2008, we played Alpine Symphony with Bernard Haitink. My wife was then playing principal horn, and I was playing third horn. Jamie Somerville was playing assistant horn. Mike Martin, who's a member of our trumpet section, was playing principal trumpet. Tom Siders, who's a member of our trumpet section, was playing third trumpet. And it was such a memorable, cool experience because the performance was fantastic. And then recently, about 2 years ago, we had Alpine Symphony coming up again with Andres. And as a matter of fact, I had to call in sick for the first performance of Alpine Symphony because my daughter was born that night. So it's one of those really cool pieces for me. Mahler 9 and Alpine, I think, are the two tops for me as far as anything I could play on the horn. So I hope you've enjoyed this. We're really sorry to be missing our audience during this time. We're really, really excited to get back to work and see you all soon. Thanks.